We're Nathan and Tiffany, a 48-year-old couple on an adult gap year. 7 days in Barcelona. Christmas week. A lot of walking. Like, a lot of walking. Add in late dinners, more groceries than usual, our first successful laundry day on the road, and the realization that we still are short on underwear. We track every dollar for our adult gap year, and these are our real Barcelona numbers.
In this video, we're going to break down our budget, what we spent in Barcelona while we were there for 7 days, and see if we hit our budget of $165 a day on average, which is not an arbitrary number. That comes from trying to make this whole year stay within $60,000.
We were there from December 19th to December 25th. Technically we left on the 26th, but in terms of each budget, the day we travel, we count that in the city in that budget. The day we leave goes to the next city.
True to how it's been so far, we've walked a ton. Barcelona might have been the most so far. I have to go back and check. It was 95,166 total steps, which averages into 13,592 per day.
Which is really saying something, because there are days where we work almost the whole day and we basically don't move. Some of our days of walking are almost 30,000 steps.
Mm-hmm. And some of our work days are sometimes, granted on those days we're not carrying our phone around the hotel with us, but the steps that our phones are recording are sometimes under 1,000 for those days.
Very sedentary days.
So that translates to 40.65 miles per day and 40.6 miles total and 5.8 miles per day.
We almost did a double marathon every day walking, according to that. But we are doing a 10K basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. To get to Barcelona from Vienna, our flight cost $243.85. Something also you should know is we translate everything from euros to dollars for the purposes of this video. We only spent $20.50 on public transportation, which is part of why we walked so much. Also, we were much more savvy with the transportation in this city.
The weather was nice too.
It was beautiful.
The total transportation then comes to $264.35.
The lodging for this trip was $582.98. This actually was a value of well over $1,000 if you had to pay for it without using status points, etc. This was also the very first time we ever got lounge access. Now this lounge, it was the first one Moxie's ever done apparently in the world. And it was a nice perk, but the lounge didn't offer a ton, especially for me, because it was mostly like little baked goods and such. But it was still a great perk to have if you have lounge access by status.
Yeah, it certainly offered a nice little snack, but not anything you would get a meal out of.
I did get my first glass of cava.
Which ties nicely into our food budget. Our general rule is to try not to eat out more than once per day. So we supplement that with groceries, and in this case with the lounge access. We did spend more in groceries this time because the grocery store was just downstairs. So this time we spent $89.37 on groceries and $192.24 eating out. So that total is $281.61 on food. Part of this eating out category was our Christmas meal, which is a little bit hard when you're traveling because a lot of places are closed. Food restrictions we need to deal with. We ended up
by we, he means me.
We ended up eating actually at a really nice place. It was a Indian restaurant.
And we had multiple courses. They were really beautifully done. The funny thing is we tried to go to dinner at 7, and he said the chef won't even be here until 7:30. So that's something else to know. They eat late in Spain. We went to a restaurant. It was at 10:10 in the evening, completely packed out. Eating past 10 p.m. for dinner is completely normal.
Which makes lunch around 4, typically.
Which almost would be our dinner normally in the US. We don't normally eat at 10 o'clock. Depending on how you travel, if you travel more budget than we do, or if you are have more money to spend than we do. I think that eating out is the area you can probably make one of the biggest differences. Another way that you can make a big difference is if you slow travel. The more you move around, the transportation really adds up too.
And allowing yourself one meal a day to eat out still allows you to experience the culture and those special things that area or city or country might be known for. You can still experience those things. And it doesn't always have to be dinner. It could be lunch or breakfast.
Yeah. It could even be something like, in Spain, it could be a tapas or something like that, where it's very authentic, but it's a small little snack. Our activity budget was actually the lowest it's been of any city we've been to. It was way below what we would typically spend. And we really only paid to go into probably one of the most beautiful hospitals in the world. It's definitely the most beautiful hospital I've ever seen. And then otherwise, everything we did was outside. We just went to the outside. We did not go into the Sagrada Familia. How do you pronounce that?
I'm not Spanish. I think it's Sagrada Familia.
Okay. We didn't go inside, not because we didn't want to, but it would have been, was it 90 or 95 euros total, which was over $110. And honestly, I'm not going to lie, I'm a little bit irritated that it cost that much to go into a church.
Now, here's the thing. A lot of these cathedrals, you've seen one, you might have seen them all, they're very similar. The Sagrada Familia is an exception to that. It was designed by Gaudi. And if you are familiar with Gaudi's works at all, he's the architect who believed that there are no straight lines in nature, so there shouldn't be in the buildings either. And it's really unique. Gaudi died in 1926, and so there's a big push to finish this cathedral, because it's not finished yet, in 2026, 100 years since his death.
130 years total.
And so they have been, for the past several years, continuing to increase the admission price to help fund the finishing of that project.
Yeah, that's true. But I wish we had, because I hear the interior, the light, especially if it's a sunny day, is really spectacular. And I would like to have seen that, but I couldn't justify almost a whole day's budget to go into one location. So for some people, it's totally worth it. So go for it.
But the hospital at St. Pau was the only thing that we paid for to go in and see. And really, the architect of this hospital was a teacher. So Gaudi was a student of this architect. It's a very different style, so beautiful. And what I really appreciated about it was that the form follows function idea, where things like the tiles were curved, where they make 90-degree angles so that they could be easier to clean since the hospital. Little details like that. We always include a section called Real Life, because there are just other expenses that come up. This week, I believe the only one that we had was laundry. This was the first time doing laundry? First time doing laundry. Turns out it's really easy. There was a laundromat right around the corner, very small. It cost us $16.47 to do all of our laundry from the prior 2 weeks. We still wish we had more underwear.
We are going to get more. We need 2 weeks.
But everything worked out fine. And our total for the entire week, $1,197.34, which means our per day is $171.05, putting us over by $6.05 a day.
So close. Coming up in not the next couple of weeks, but after that, for about a month, we will have $0 for lodging, because our point status, we're getting like 5 weeks of free lodging. That's going to give us some extra money to go do some fun stuff.
Not that we've skipped out on doing fun stuff because of our budget.
Yeah.
In Barcelona, we did exactly what we wanted to do.
Except for maybe going in the church. Although it was super crowded. Yes. And even just seeing the outside was really an experience. And it's a fantastical structure. You really could spend a lot of time looking. There's characters, and the tops of the turrets look like ice cream cones.
There's a lot of meaning built into all of it. And if you check it out, especially in person, especially in the near future, be sure to look for Waldo.
I think that over the next couple of weeks, the budget's all going to balance out. But it really is kind of cool because we're not tracking so much as we go. We're just sort of being mindful, and it's landing pretty close.
Yeah, our budget is not contingent upon us hitting it every single day or every single week. We have a buffer. Ultimately, if we spend too much money, we have to come home early.
Or we go somewhere that's less expensive for a while.
Yeah, so it's not critical that we hit these numbers, but we do want to try to stay in it just to help keep ourselves accountable and help stay on plan.
And also to share with all of you that this can be done. You know, obviously there's people that do it on a lower budget than us. If you want to like go and do a whole backpacking experience, stay in hostels and eat ramen noodles, but you just want to experience the culture, you can do it for less than us. You can do it for way more than we're doing it for as well. This is just an example of what we're doing, what we've decided to do, and we're just sharing it with you.
Thanks for following along with us, and journey further, live lighter.